Hi guys, it's Grace with Grace Gets Gastric, and I am here today for a plastics video. So I thought that today I would come and talk to you guys about everything that is on my to-do list going into plastic surgery. So if you're new here, or if you haven't been paying attention, I am scheduled for post-weight loss surgery, plastic surgery, at the end of January, so a little less than 2 months away, or about a month and a half, I think. Time's flying. And to prepare myself for that surgery, to kind of get everything ready, I have a massive checklist of all the things that I want to make sure I get done before I leave. So I thought it would be helpful to talk about all the things that I am planning. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I might make separate videos talking about specific ones. If you are interested, do let me know down below. And if you've had plastic surgery before and you have suggestions on things that you think that I am missing on this list, please also let me know that, because I've never had plastic surgery before and I'm kind of going in a little bit blind. So I have two sort of sections. The first is just kind of a to-do list, and then the second one is all of the appointments that I have scheduled. So I guess we'll get started. So the first thing on my to-do list is not only to purchase flights, so I am getting surgery down in Tijuana, Mexico with Dr. Alejandro, I think, but Dr. Alex Galvez. I will link his Instagram below. But I am getting, so I'm flying into San Diego, and then we'll take a car into Tijuana. But in addition to obviously getting the flights and arranging all of that with them, I also have a to-do list item to ensure that I get wheelchair access for my flight coming home. So I want to make sure I let the airline know that I will be needing wheelchair service for that, to and from that flight. I am getting an extended tummy tuck, my boobs, my back, possibly my arms. So I'm getting a lot of stuff done. I'm leaving about 10 days after surgery, so I will need wheelchair access. The other thing is to sort things like my payment, like bringing my money down into Mexico, figuring out all that stuff, making sure that my passport is up to date. I actually just did this when I went to Peru in October, so luckily that's all good. You need to make sure do all those things when you're doing international travel, and form my credit card of the fact that I'll be in Mexico. I don't know how often I'm going to be using my credit card, but if I need to run out and have my mom get me anything, I want to make sure that my credit cards are working just in case. I also want to put together a list of questions to ask the surgeon. So I did a online consult. I have not physically met with him in person yet, and though I have sent in a few questions to their kind of ask email address, I am putting together a list of questions that I want to make sure that I get answers to from the surgeon when we meet to do my markup and all of that stuff. So I'm just compiling a list of questions. If you think of any specific questions that you really think that I should be asking, you can leave those down below for me. Oh, the next one is arranging a medical recliner. So right now my plan is to, once I get back from Mexico, I'm planning to stay here in my apartment. And then my sister, I live with a roommate, but while my roommate could do basic things, I'm not going to ask her to shower me or, help me with any of that kind of stuff. We're really good friends, but we're not maybe that good of friends. It's one of those things where, I feel like if I needed it, she would do it, but, it wouldn't be enjoyable for either of us. So all of that is to say, my sister is going to be staying with me, and the plan is for her to sleep in my room, and then I am going to rent a medical recliner and probably put that out in the living room. So those are the kind, I'm wanting to get the kind that will kind of stand you up, because I am probably going to be having muscle tightening, and I'm definitely having stuff done around the stomach. I do not know how feasible it will be for me to get out of the chair, especially if I end up getting my arms done, because then I will not have my arms to use as leverage. So I think a recliner that will stand me up is going to be key, and I need to make sure I get that sorted before I leave, because I want it to be here when I get back from Mexico, so I don't have to deal with that after traveling. And I don't want my roommate to have to deal with it by herself when I'm not here, because she might not know answers to questions that they have, etc. So I think I'm going to do that, to set that up for the week before I leave. I also have to plan and film some videos for you guys, so this is one of them. But I have a couple of different videos that I am planning in the lead up to my my plastic surgery. So I want to make a list of those and get those filmed. If you guys have any particular video ideas for me or things that you want me to make a video on, again, let me know. I am planning to do a Q&A, probably, you know, one before and then one for sure after. So sometime soonish, I'll probably make a quick video asking for you to leave me any comments you have before I go into surgery. I also need to take before photos and video, so I want to make sure that I really fully document the loose skin situation with video, so you can really see it in movement, and then also with just different angles, just to really be able to get the full before and after comparison. So that was one of the biggest things with getting weight loss surgery and losing weight. Taking photos throughout the process was really key, and like basically everyone who has gone through this process, I wish I had more before photos. Obviously, I'm sure, you know, a lot of us can all relate to not having wanted to take photos of ourselves, of our full bodies when we were bigger, which is sad, but it also just means that it is hard to, I have so few photos of me at my heaviest and even my not so heaviest. So I want to make sure I get a lot of pictures of the skin. I'll be honest, just like me at my biggest size, I do not have a lot of photos of me with my loose skin. I have a lot of photos of me full body now, but they are all with my loose skin, fully compressed, hidden, tucked away. Because again, I mean, I'm not out and about a lot with my loose skin flapping about in the wind, and it's just uncomfortable because I have to have someone else take those photos. So I do want to take some of those. My sister gets that joyous task. She loves so much to deal with my loose skin. I also need to meal plan, prep, and freeze. So I need to plan out a couple of different meal ideas for post-op. And then I want to prep those meals and then get them frozen so that they are ready for me to just pull out, heat up, and eat. I am going to be, you know, I'm taking 4 weeks off of work, so I'm basically planning to take the whole week of February, or sorry, whole month of February off. I do not know, it's just, I have no idea what my mobility is going to be like, but I do know that I do not want to be very active, and I know this is going to be hard, but I'm going to try very hard to really be strict about my movement. So things like prepping meals beforehand. I mean, I can always rely on things like Postmates, but I feel like with the Swell Hell, I really don't want to deal with the sodium that comes in food from ordering out. Plus, you know, it is harder to get lower carb options. And while I am not a no carb or a ketoer, I do try to keep things lower carb, particularly because while I will be healing, so I want to make sure that I am adequately fueling my body so that I can heal well. I also will not be moving much. And right now my body is used to working out 5 to 7 times a week and getting 10,000 steps a day. So my caloric intake to maintain all of this is a lot higher. So after plastics, I'm gonna be losing muscle mass, I'm gonna be losing weight, just because of the physical weight of skin. And then I'm not gonna be moving much. So I do wanna be cognizant of, while I want to make sure I'm getting enough calories to heal, it is going to be very easy for me to graze all day, overeat a lot. Those are things that I know I'm just prone to. So I have to be cognizant of that, and watching things like sugar, carbs, sodium, all of that I think will just be helpful for me in the long run. Plus, carbs also tend to make you bloat. And again, I think I'm going to be having enough bloating with the surgery. And then the final item on my kind of to-do list is to make a packing list for everything I need to bring with me to Mexico, or everything I need to have available for me once I get back from Mexico, and then buy the items that I don't have, pack all of that. I am planning to make a video or two on everything that I'm buying or taking with me, and then like the stuff that I am and am not using. So I'm still deciding exactly how I want to do that, but I will be making some kind of video about all of that. So next part of this is all of the appointments that I have scheduled. So keeping in mind, some of these appointments are just because it is January, and I tend to have many appointments in January just as part of my regular life. So I'm just trying to make sure all of the ones that I would have in January and February, I'm just making sure they're all in January at the beginning of the month, so that they're all taken care of. So those are things. I have a dentist appointment, so I get one every 6 months, and it's in January, so actually I had it scheduled for February and I had to move it because it was like a week after surgery. So dentist appointment, I have an eye appointment. I wear contacts and blind as a bat, so I need to make sure I get a contact appointment or an eye exam so that I can get new contacts and make sure that I have that year's supply already with me, because I think my last pair is in January and I want to make sure I can see in February. The other thing is lip filler. So that I got, if you guys watched the video last year, for the first time ever in December. I love it. It's amazing. It's something that I really am happy I got. And the year is up like now, basically. So I need to schedule that sometime before I go get my plastics. Other things are acupuncture. So I get acupuncture. My insurance covers 16 sessions a year. So I get it about once a month. So I'll probably have like 2 sessions, I'm thinking, in January, because I will probably not be doing it at all in February, and then I'll plan on going back to it in March. But that is a question I have for my surgeon to see if he has any thoughts about when I should be going back to acupuncture. And then to go along with that, I also have massage. So I get medical massage, also covered by my insurance, also 16 sessions a year. So again, I will not be doing that in February, possibly not in March. So I think I'm going to try to go for 2 sessions in January. So the other thing is my bariatric appointment. So my 2-year surgery is January 2nd. So I do meet with my bariatric surgeon once a year in January to just go over everything. So my plan is to have that appointment in January as usual. And then I think the other ones are more or less more specific to this particular plastic surgery. So the first one is one actually I've already done, when that was get my pre-surgery labs. So they require that you do lab work, particularly like a hemoglobin panel, a lipid panel. They had a couple of different ones. I get the full barrage of testing done once a year in advance of my bariatric appointment. So I had already had those scheduled. I got them done early November and I sent those off to my surgeon. And that is just to make sure that everything looks good. And if they have any concerns, they can have you make adjustments to your diet, to your supplements as needed. So labs, that one's done. Then I have a hair appointment. I guess it's not technically related to my surgery, but I did want to make sure I got my hair done beforehand so I look real cute for surgery, but also because I get my hair cut every 3 months. So that'll give me a nice, good amount of time to heal. If you guys have been watching my channel, you know that my hairdresser is amazing and basically my biggest supporter, and she is so excited for me on this plastics journey. So I'm excited to see her right before I go, and we'll talk all about it. I showed her my surgeon, and she was like feeling my loose skin last time. I was letting her, it was all fine. So I've got a hair appointment. I'm actually pretty excited. And then I'll schedule another one for the 3 months later, and then she can see my banging new bod. Oh, the other one is, the next one is a DEXA appointment. So if you've been watching along, you know I got a DEXA scan, which does your body composition, I want to say like in May of this year. And I am going to get another one done right before plastics. And then my plan is to do another one like 3 or 6 months after plastics, partially because I'm really curious to see how my body composition changes post-plastics. Both because I'm curious / nervous about the loss of muscle mass from just not being able to physically move the way that I have been. And also I'm curious to see if my fat, like how much my skin has been registering as fat. Because my body fat percentage is a little bit higher than I would love. But I also do think that a lot of it is kind of being skewed by the loose skin. So I'm just curious. I love data to see how that changes. So I wanted to do one right before I got plastics. I'm also going to be, cries forever, removing my lashes. So y'all know, if you've been watching for a while, that I have lash extensions. They are one of my splurges, but they make me feel so good and I love them so much, and I am so devastated to have to get rid of them. But I do think that you know, the pain, not the pain physical, but just like the pain in the ass of having to deal with them when I don't know what my mobility is going to be like. I just think it's better to just not, and then I can pick it back up again once I am feeling up for it. I am really sad just because they are the thing that makes me feel the most just put together when I'm not wearing any makeup. Just having them, just the lashes just gives me that little extra boost that I like. And I imagine that I'm going to be wearing very minimal to no makeup for most of my recovery. And so having the lashes would be a nice thing, but I just ultimately think that the pros outweigh the cons in terms of getting rid of them. So I'm on the fence if I'm going to go in and have her remove them, or if I'm just going to let them fall out. I think we'll see where we're at about mid-January, because I've got an appointment right before New Year's, and then my plan is to either get them removed or just let them come out. Ooh, the other one is a facial. So I have a facial scheduled for my face and décolletage. I don't know how people say French things, but basically my upper chest and my face. This is just a little bit of a treat for me. I do try to get a facial 3 to 4 times a year because they're nice, and I'm all about the self-care. And my skin it's been not good. I actually think in 2020, I'm going to, after plastics, I'm going to see a dermatologist. I decided to wait until after plastics because I just do not know how my body and my skin is going to react. I know VSG just totally fucked up my body chemistry. I mean, I have back acne for the first time in my entire life. I've never had it. It's definitely to do with something with VSG, with the weight loss or something. So I think that I will plan on pursuing it more once I've finished with plastics, but in the meantime, I am going to get a facial just to kind of treat myself before my plastics. And then less of a treat, but something that is perhaps necessary, is I am going to get a wax. So I've scheduled myself for a Brazilian and for leg wax, and I'm really nervous. So you might know if you've been watching that I got my first ever bikini wax in August, and it was totally fine. But a bikini wax is different than a Brazilian, and not super stoked. But I am getting an extended tummy tuck. The incision is going to be fairly low, and the drains are like basically right on the mons from what I've seen of other people. And so I just do not, with stitches, with drains, I don't want there to be hair there because there's going to be tape. It's going to be really uncomfortable if I've got any hair situation. And shaving, I don't think is going to cut it because it's going to be for a while. So I'd rather just wax and get it all just taken care of. I don't think I'm going to have her go like all the way back because I'm not getting like a 360. So I'm not as concerned about any hair that might be on the rear end, but I do want to make sure that the front is taken care of, and then I'm not going to probably be able to bend and shave for a while. And so I figure just to like, for the ease of things, I'm just going to have her take off all of the leg hair as well, which I've heard is actually super painful. So I'll keep you guys updated on how that goes. I'm really nervous, but I do think that ultimately it will make my life easier, and that is what it's all about. Anyways, I think those were all of the things I want to talk about. I talked about my appointments. I talked about the other things on my to-do list before plastics. So if you guys have any suggestions on things I should be looking into, please let me know. If you have any suggestions for people that I should be watching on Instagram or on YouTube who have gone through post-weight loss plastics, I'd love to know who those people are so I can follow them. If there are any videos you want to see from me on this whole process, I am happy to make them. I know from experience, because I've been scouring the internet, how difficult it is to find videos on plastics, particularly post-weight loss plastics, because our considerations are different than just a traditional mommy makeover. I have a lot of loose skin. My skin is not elastic. I'm getting different kinds of things done. So yeah, I'm happy to share the process with you. That is my plan. So let me know if there are any things in particular that you want to hear about or want to see, and I will work them into the rotation. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. It sounds like y'all are excited for me, and that makes me very happy because I am super excited, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So stay tuned. There will be more soon. Bye.